Now, so when we talk about renewable natural resources, in landscape design, they include soil nutrients. So sometimes we overlook the importance of soil, but I'll tell you more about soil later. They also include trees and plant materials. So trees and plant materials are renewable. And water from rain and wastewater is also renewable. And lastly, energy from sun, water, steam, and wind. Imagine how rich we are in solar energy. Why can't we use that? Okay? We don't have oil, but we have sun. And the sun never changes. The oil can be depleted over time, but nobody can ever take the sun away from nature. We get introduced to lead. I'm sure the others will be talking about lead in detail. But just as a reference, I looked at lead as and determined what in lead are relevant to landscape architecture. There are a lot. Parang everything here except indoor environmental quality affect landscape architecture. But I will focus today on sustainable sites initiatives. This is another group separate from USGBC. This is a group initiated by the American Society of Landscape Architects and funded by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. What they're doing is to try to make a set of rules similar to LEED, eventually to incorporate it in LEED, okay? But very focused on landscape architecture. So in SSI, there are five topics that develop the goals, strategies, and potential technologies: hydrology, soils, vegetation, materials, and human well-being. Some of these are overlapping with LEED, okay? But since there are already many who might be discussing LEED with you, let me talk about SSI. So hydrology. Hydrology talks about the waters of life. Diba? The question I ask always is that if you were to choose during a typhoon season, walang ilaw, do you prefer to have water and no electricity, or electricity and no water? What's your choice? I'm sure you prefer to have water, diba? It's okay not to have electricity, but you need water. Okay? But water is a limited resource, essential to all life. Under natural conditions, and here is a very important natural cycle, if all of us will just honor and respect this natural cycle, a very simple one among all the natural cycles existing in nature, please try to keep within that formula, okay? So in this cycle, water circulates from the seas to the sky and down, but the greatest portion of that process is when the water seeps into the ground and recharges our aquifers. The moment you tamper with that process of water trickling into the ground, this is where our problems will start, okay? So the problem actually is happening. Why? Because most of the time in construction, the aim of design is to try to remove water as fast as you can off the site using pipes and drainage manholes. So we are trained to treat water as a waste product with the goal of moving it off-site as quickly as possible. Mali pala yun, okay? What happens then, as soon as we try to bring water into the pipes, we now have to capture it again, right? We now have to put up all those STPs, right? And STPs are very, very expensive. And STPs are designed to try to recycle water, bring the water back. Okay? But there is pala a good natural way to do it. Okay, let me just run through the current practices or malpractices in hydrology. Usually we disturb or remove soils and vegetation during construction that tend to diminish or eliminate the function of soil to intercept water and bring water down to the aquifer. So that is wrong practice. Okay? And take note that even in landscaped areas, okay, where we try to vegetate, we plant plants on compacted soil, there is no guarantee that water will infiltrate because compacted soil will tend to diminish that ability of water to infiltrate the ground. So, of course, the practice of conventional drainage and stormwater management designed to move water quickly off-site and bring water to the nearest water body. It makes us spend more and think more about trying to recycle it. But whenever we discharge water into water bodies, we can cause flooding, erosion, scoured stream banks, increased pollution and sediment, and fewer opportunities to enjoy the benefits of streams and lakes. So if you've been to places where, you know, esteros and or potentially nice rivers, but it's so ugly because the embankments are all scoured or maybe filled up with people, you know, squatters. So we are violating the rules of hydrology. Remember that stream channel degradation and increased sedimentation can impact aquatic habitat. Whenever we destroy mangroves because of garbage that or the pollutants that we expel into the water bodies, we are also reducing our lifespan because we will not be able to produce any more seafood. Our mangroves are the food production center of our seas. Pag sira yung mangrove, no production, no fish, only delata na lang kakainin natin. Another bad practice affecting hydrology is land development generally, okay? Because land development generates contaminated stormwater runoff, which is the leading cause of water quality problems. This is a very nice picture of a favorite place. What is this? Boracay. See how nice people are enjoying the beach? Oh, this is what you don't see in Boracay. Okay? Runoff from developed areas that contain oil, grease, excessive nutrients, E. coli, hepatitis A. Sa Boracay din ito hindi nyo lang nakikita. Nobody's lying on the beach beside it. It's nicely hidden. But watch out for that. Okay. I don't mean to put down Boracay, but this can happen in many other places too. Another bad practice, the inefficient use of water. Meaning to say, we use potable water all the time, right? Even for washing cars, even for irrigating the gardens. But we shouldn't do that because, you know, when the potable water is already used and is brought into the drains and the pipes, I don't think you'll want to drink that water again, right? We can't use water when it's already discharged into the pipes. The next thing we'll know is that we will be getting water from ugly holes like this. Heaven forbid that can happen. You know, in my youth, a long time ago, we drank water from the tap. Tap water was the best. I do not know what happened when suddenly you can't drink water from the tap and you have to buy it. And you think you're buying good water? Check your water bottle. It's distilled water, right? It is dead water. It doesn't have any nutrients. If you even try to buy the real mineral water, you'll be spending a fortune. Because you can't buy mineral water off the racks at 10 pesos or 15 pesos. So yung binibili natin, it's distilled water. They remove the pollutants, the impurities, but they also remove the nutrients. So think again, because I'll invite you to go to Davao and don't buy bottled water in Davao. Drink the Davao water. It is fresh water from the Mount Apo. Okay?